Hi, my name is Sochi Campos and I'm an insurance agent. I own Campos Insurance Agency, and the reason I'm making this video is because I was redoing my website and I was trying to think of all of the cool things that I could put up on my website, and one of the things that I thought was videos, things you need to know, important information. And I started thinking about what my first subject would be. And I was thinking, well, probably auto, because everybody has an auto, or, homeowners insurance, that's really important. And then I started thinking about what your most important asset is, and whenever I ask my customers what their most important asset is, I get things like, oh, well, my home and my boat and my house, that's really important. And you're right, those are all very important assets, but it's not your most important asset. Your most important asset, in case you didn't know, was your ability to earn income. Think about it. It's not necessarily your income. If you lose your job, yeah, sure, it might take you a few years, but you'll get another one. If you lose your car, you can get another one. If you lose your house, God knows people are losing houses left and right. It's all we hear on the news. You can get another one. What if you lost your ability to earn income? What if you die tomorrow? Is your family going to be taken care of now that they don't have that stream of income? What if you reach your retirement and you haven't saved enough money? Do you want to be that guy who's working into his 70s and 80s because he can't afford not to? So yesterday I was taking a class and they posed to us the question, why is it that so many people fail at their financial goals? And it sounds like it could have a lot of different answers to it, or a really complex answer, and it really doesn't. The answer is something that financial planners know, insurance people know, but for whatever reason they're not telling their customers. So most of America doesn't know, and it was something important enough that I thought, you know what, I need to make this video now. And I'm literally sitting in my bedroom recording it and a flip cam in my hand. It's that important. The reason that most people fail at their financial goals is because they pay themselves last. Think about it for a second. Try to picture all of the money that you have earned in the last 5 years. Now, if you had an emergency, medical emergency, unexpected car repair, how much of that money would you have available to you today? Probably not a whole lot. And a lot of Americans would even say zero. A lot of Americans would even say debt. They don't even have zero. So let me ask you this. What if we could restructure that? What if when you get your paycheck, instead of paying everybody else, paying all the bills, paying the mortgage, the insurance, the groceries, the electricity, all of that stuff, what if we could pay you first and then change everything else so that we can pay them all off with what's left, but pay you first? Make sure that that money that you worked hard for, you worked for it, you should be able to keep it, that money's set aside for your future. There's a story I want to tell you, and it's a children's story. It's a very common story. You probably heard it, and if not, I'm so glad that I'm the first one that's been able to say it to you. But it's a story of the ant and the grasshopper. And so there's this ant and this grasshopper and their friends, and spring's rolling into summer, and the grasshopper's just loving it, and I don't blame him. I love summer too. So he's out there and he's frolicking and he's skipping and he's running, and he says to the ant, "Ant, come play with me." He goes, "It's beautiful outside." And the ant says, "I would love to, but I have to collect food for the winter." And the grasshopper says, "Why would you collect food for the winter? Winter's so far away. It's months away." And the ant says, "True, but if I collect a little bit of food every single day, I'll have a whole lot of food at winter, and I didn't work very hard at all for it." And the grasshopper says, "You're crazy." And the ant says, "Okay, well, I'm crazy, but I'm collecting the food, right?" And so he plays after he collects the food. So days go into days, and at the end, the rains start to come. And the grasshopper says, "All right, it's time to collect some food." So he goes out and he starts looking for food, but by the time he starts looking for food, there's none left because the other insects have taken it. So he shows up shivering to the ant's doorstep and he says, "Ant, can I borrow some food from you?" And that's what Americans are doing with their future. We're borrowing. I ask people, what is it that you're going to do if you're not planning, if you're not saving money? And they say to me, "Oh, Social Security." And I say to them, and I suppose Medicare will be paying your medical bills. And if you look at Social Security, today is January 19th, 2012. Take a look at your Social Security statement. Don't turn to page 2 to find out how much you're going to get. Look at page 1. It says on page 1 of your Social Security statement that by 2016, that's only 4 years away, that Social Security will start paying out 75 cents of every dollar they owe. Okay, Why do you think that is? That's because they're bankrupt, and Medicare is 3 times worse in the hole than Social Security is. So they're not going to be around for you. So what is it that you're doing today to plan for your future? Be the ant. What is it that you're doing today? If you're young, take advantage of it. There are 2 things that are so important to reaching your financial goals in the future. The first one of those is time. If you've got the time, take advantage of it. You could be at the most dead-end job making minimum wage and, living paycheck to paycheck. We could still find a way to save for the future. And it might not be a whole lot, but at least you're doing something. At least you're doing something, and that something is going to gain interest, and it's going to roll, and that ball's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And by the time that you do reach your retirement, you're going to have a nice little retirement account to live off of. So many people, they call me and they say, well, I'm 60 years old and I want to retire at 65 and I haven't saved any money. And, a lot of financial people will say, oh yeah, sure, there's no problem, we can save money and all that. I'm just going to be honest with you, it's not going to happen. It's not. You didn't save. Maybe you weren't able to, or maybe you didn't meet the right person that was able to restructure everything. But it's just not going to happen. So if you're 20s, 30s, 40s, even 50s, start saving now so that you have that. The very first ingredient is time. The second ingredient is discipline. And that's something that I liked myself. I remember in my GovEcon class when I was 17 years old in high school, they were telling us, Medicare and Social Security aren't going to be there for you guys. And so I said, I have to start saving. So I went and I opened up my little savings account at the bank. It was my first account and I was really happy. I started putting money away into it. And then I saw really nice shoes. And so I got the shoes and I started spending here and I started spending there. And pretty soon my savings was completely gone. And so then I did that for a few years. I didn't have any savings and I was living paycheck to paycheck, and finally when I turned 23 I said, you know what, it's time to start saving. And I found a way to put my money into something that was tax deferred and tax free. You can do that. You can do tax free. And I put away very little money because I'm still young and I'm 26 years old. I put in very little money, but I have a nice little chunk of change already. And if there's an emergency that I really, really need to break into it, I can break into it. And I don't have penalties and fees and taxes and all that kind of stuff that I have to pay. And if I die, I know my family's taken care of. And if I don't, if I live to retirement, I know that I'm going to have a nice little nest egg for myself. So time and discipline, those are the 2 things that are really, really important. And if you have a financial person that you like, great, talk to them about it. Bring it up. Tell them, what are we doing today to save for my future? If you got an insurance person you really like, great. Tell them, what are we doing today to save for my future? If you don't, or if you want a second opinion, I'm available. I live in California, but if you just want to talk about different things you can bring up with somebody in your state, please give me a call. If you're in California, I could definitely help you. Visit my website. Information's below. It's also on my website. That's camposins.com. You can contact me there, and please be on the lookout for more videos because I will be posting more stuff. It's just that this stuff is really, really important. Something that people need to know today, especially in the kind of economy that we're at, when people are losing their jobs and this and this and this, and nobody has any money, everyone's broke, we're in debt. Now's the time to save, because if you hadn't lost any money, for those of you who have lost money, just imagine what a better place you would have been if you hadn't lost any of your money. You would have been a lot richer than you are now. So please don't wait, because every moment that you wait is more money that you stand to lose in the future. So please do it today. Give me a call if you have any questions. Again, camposins.com. If you want to get quotes or anything there, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by hitting the button above. And I wish you luck in your financial future, and thank you for watching.